Did you guys see? So as part of this NFL schedule and like what's been leaking out, one of the things that we've been wondering was going to happen now that the playoffs are expanding to 12 teams and we got earlier playoff games, the NFL always takes those Saturdays in December because there's no college football going on. So they take that slot. So the question was, is the NFL going to relinquish that with the playoffs, or what were they going to do? Turns out the NFL is saying, you know what? We stole Christmas from the NBA. We're going to fucking take Saturdays from college football too. And they are going up directly against round 1 of the college football playoffs, December 21st. Now, everybody was like, yeah, it's probably going to happen, but it won't really matter because they'll put it on NFL Network. Like they'll do an NFL Network game, and then most people are going to watch the college football playoffs. Wrong. NBC and Fox will be airing NFL games directly in opposition to the 3 playoff games that are going on December 21st. Mookie, that face is the correct face to make.
Yeah, because
it is unreal.
I honestly, though, I think what's going to end up happening is they're both just going to make a shit ton of money, and we're going to realize how much money football brings in still compared to every other sport. Because what they're going to do, they absolutely can. Are you kidding me? Trust me, people will put up numbers. They'll find ways to get it done.
Does picture count as 2 views, or is that just 1 view?
I'm thinking it's more like when you go to the bar and they have multiple games on. Each game that's on still gets credit for being in front of X number of eyes.
All right. We need to look this up. You need to Google if picture in. All
right, we'll Google this. Also, just for the record, Senior agrees with me, so there's
Scott, what do you make of the NFL bullying college football and taking their first ever, like the first Saturday with expanded playoffs, and the NFL is like, nah, we own December Saturday football. Y'all can get fucked. We're taking this over. And you know what? We're going to put it on 2 different networks. How about that? That's what we're going to – oh, you want it behind a paywall? You want it on an NFL network? No. 2 over-the-air networks. That's where our games are going. Get wrecked, NCAA. That's basically what they said.
I mean, you know me. As long as we've known each other, that's been one of the principal divisions between us, was the pro versus college thing. So I love, even as much as I, dislike the NFL in its current state and the way things have gone over the last few years, I still love that they're just swinging their nuts and being like, fuck you. Because it was funny when they took the NBA thing, because you're just like, well, totally different sport. So you figure, yeah, of course, no problem. This, they've kind of had that like gentlemanly agreement with college football, and I'm sure there's been kind of some conversations too, like behind the closed doors, like an understanding that they would just kind of like not do this to one another. And for them to just come out and be like, oh, your first ever, and fuck right off. Like, I wonder if the NFL felt in any way like, oh, if like told them like, hey, if you expand and you move into our territory, we will not be backing down. In fact, we're gonna fucking double down on that shit. Like, I wonder if those conversations were had and college was like, well, look, we got to do what we got to do for the health of our sport, and salvos were just fired. Like, I don't care what the reasoning or how the decision was made, but I fucking love that they're just like, nah, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want. We dare you to schedule during us.
I do not think those conversations even were had, because I feel like if the NCAA went to the NFL and was like, excuse me, sir, we're thinking about expanding, and Mr. Goodell, if we could potentially rework the agreement that we have in place, if it's not too much trouble for you. And Roger went, get the fuck out of my office. And they were like, yes, sir, right away, sir. Sorry.
No, it wasn't even that. He was just like, what agreement? That's it. Just stares him down, and then they walk out. Like, you're like, I don't remember. There is no agreement. Like, the NFL clearly has shown they're going to do what they're going to. You know what it is? I can't wait until the NFL books over like a State of the Union address. That'll be fucking awesome.
Hell yeah,
you know that shit's coming.
The Super Bowl competing with that shit. They're like, yeah, we're taking back all of February, bitch.
You know what? You don't even need the Super Bowl. They'll just put on like
Exhibition.
Jags versus Titans on a Thursday night against the State of the Union. They'd outdraw it by 10 times the number. Like they would do.
Well, I mean, I went with Super Bowl because the State of the Union happens in February, and it usually happens during the week. But your idea is good too.
No, you know what?
Don't change the schedule to have a regular season game in February.
Mike.
The State of the Union and put their nuts in the president's face.
You're missing the obvious answer. It would even be that they just bring back the Pro Bowl.
We'd watch
the Pro Bowl over the State of the Union. Yeah.
No.
Sarah wants to know, what would you choose, NFL, NCAA, or something else? So if you have 3 events going on at the same time on 3 different channels, an NCAA game, an NFL game, or something else, what are you watching? Mookie, you look like you have to poop.
Because I know I'm going to get murdered for this, but I'm going to go with it because the time that those things all overlap would be when FC is in the playoffs. And I've got to be honest, I'd probably take an FC playoff game over a Notre Dame regular season game. Actually, I have. So, there's your evidence. MLS playoffs over those two.
Yikes. Scott, what would you take? I think it's NFL, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're just talking especially exclusively sports, because I mean, the something else, that's a large window. And I mean, that time of year, there's
baseball?
a lot of
reruns of Scrubs. That's
I don't know.
Okay,
See, that's the thing. Okay, wait.
3 choices. Hang on.
Hold on. Because see, here's the thing. It all changes. Are the Niners playing? If the Niners aren't fucking playing,
that's what I was going to set up for you. So the college game is 2 teams that feature players who you want the Niners to draft. The NFL game is the Cowboys versus, I don't know, Pittsburgh, 2 teams you don't care about or actively dislike. The third option is the episode of Scrubs with Colin Hay where he keeps playing the guitar.
Oh, dude,
I can't get to sleep like that.
Great reference. I know exactly what you're talking about.
3 choices. Which one are you going with?
Do we now have 3 drops for tonight? 3 intro drops?
It's just it's such a specific fucking wow.
It's a great episode though. That's one of their top 5.
It is a great episode.
Easy.
But I mean, seriously, if the Niners aren't playing, you said 2 players that the Niners, I want them to draft. But again, it's team dependent. I rarely watch college football games
the 2 college football teams that you care the most about.
I was gonna say, what if it's Alabama, Oklahoma again?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
Alabama,
what college. You don't talk college.
I don't. I was just gonna say. I was I like watching. I'm all about matchups, so it's it depends on what the matchup is. Oh man, yeah, Dion versus somebody. If Dion could ever get to that fucking level, that'd be amazing. I'd be rooting for Dion. Let's just make it clear. I don't care who's on the other side. I'd be rooting for Dion. So in that case, I'm watching the college football game. You're absolutely right. If Dion makes it to the championship and is coaching in the championship for somebody, I'm watching it. I feel that's my duty is that's my black my black duty that I've got to Nice try though, Mike. Now runner up though is the episodes of Scrubs. All of them, any of them. Pick one. What you can pick the worst Scrubs episode, and I'm watching it over the Cowboys and the fucknuts. Yeah, easy call.